Part 12. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 111. Chapter 111 Protecting students is my responsibility. At this moment, Fenling seemed to have changed. Her bohemian smile was no longer visible on her stunning face, and she turned into a cold-faced queen. The inexplicable aura made everyone around her who was familiar with her couldn't help but retreat, including Xiannian. Ye Qinghan looked at the girl, his eyes flashed, and a thought flashed through his mind, "Let's go, I'll accompany you." "Thank you." Fenling hesitated for a while, but finally agreed. Ye Qinghan is a very strange man. If she doesn't agree at this moment, I'm afraid he won't let her go. At worst, he will throw her away once he enters the mountains and forests. After all, the mountains and forests are her territory. "Sister, don't do this nonsense," Feng Shuang pretended to shout, but stopped shouting again. The man who kidnapped the three girls didn't sound like a kind person. Fenling was so eager to die. She couldn't ask for it. How could he really ask her to stay? The best thing is to die in the forest with the three women. Never come back. Feng Shuang watched Fenling off with both eyes, as if he was bidding her farewell. This mountain forest is newly developed, so even the staff here are not very familiar with the environment inside. Based on her understanding of alien species, once they capture someone, they will definitely hide in a place they think is safe, that is, deep in the mountains and forests. Fenling lowered her head, looking for the man seemingly without a trace. But actually she was smelling the scent of a foreign species. The alien species that have attacked humans always have a distinctive stench. This special ability is a secret in the Alliance. No one except the Master knows about it. Everyone only knows that the Alliance brain is very good at tracking. "Are you sure you want to continue following?" Fenling squatted down, looked at the footprints on the ground, and asked. "This is the meeting point of the three girls and the man. It rained yesterday and the ground was wet, so the man left footprints. If he wasn't so smart to eliminate the footprints, there would be no need to waste her energy on using special abilities." Fenling clapped her hands, stood up and looked at Ye Qinghan. "This matter is not ordinary, Mr. Ye, I advise you not to get involved." "How do you know that this matter is not ordinary?" Ye Qinghan smiled meaningfully, and that smile seemed to indicate something clearly, which made Fenling inexplicably uneasy. "Nothing, a woman's sixth sense." Ye Qinghan smiled, he was such a stubborn child. "The weather is nice, let's go for a walk on the top of the mountain, maybe you will find something special." Ye Qinghan put her hands behind her back and walked up in a good mood. "Fenling, why is it always like a dogskin plaster that I can't shake off?" "Ye Qinghan, I'm serious, it's very dangerous up there. As a teacher, it is my responsibility to protect students." "But you are obviously the young master of the Ye family." Fenling was depressed. "So what?" Ye Qinghan stopped and looked at the little girl in front of him seriously. "I am just your teacher now, and now, my only task is to protect you. I don't need it, I have never needed it since I was a child." The girl looked at him stubbornly. She was not a flower in the greenhouse. She had to be protected wherever she went. "There is movement over there." Ye Qinghan raised his eyebrows and pointed in a direction. "Fenling, Guzi, don't change the subject for me." However, there was really movement in the direction Ye Qinghan pointed. Fenling was now concerned about the lives of the three girls and had no time to think about why Ye Qinghan could so clearly detect something moving deep in the jungle several hundred meters away from him. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 112. Chapter 112. You and I are the same kind of people. They rushed to the scene, but there was nothing but a pale girl lying on the ground. Fenling squinted her eyes. This opponent was much smarter than the previous one. An opponent who is not greedy is sometimes the most difficult to deal with. Fen Ling squatted down and probed the girl's nose with her fingers. There was only a faint breath that was gradually dissipating. She put her palm on the girl's chest and gradually transported the healing white light into the girl's body. In the face of life, she had no time to think about the fact that there was a man watching all this. Although to ordinary people, what she is doing now is no different from an alien. Fen Ling was not sure what kind of problems he would face if all this was exposed to Yeking Han. If people from the Alliance were here, they would probably fight to the death and not let her save anyone. After all, she does play an indispensable role for the Alliance. The girl gradually recovered under Fen Ling's treatment, but Fen Ling only restored her soul power. Due to excessive ischemia, the girl's body needed to be sent to the hospital for blood transfusion, otherwise her life would be in danger. Fortunately, Fen Ling and Yeking Han arrived in time. When the alien heard the noise, he left the girl and ran away. Otherwise, even Fen Ling would have been helpless. Although special abilities are magical, they are not gods and cannot turn everything into safety. Even though she is called the brain of the Alliance, she is not a fairy. Okay, Fen Ling felt the girl's pulse and it had returned to normal. She stood up and looked at Yeking Han, and found that the man was also looking at her, but it wasn't like he was looking at something strange. Instead, he felt a little relieved. Fen Ling was a little confused. You. 0. Yeking Han looked at her with determination. I joined the Alliance 6 years ago and became the brain of the Alliance a year later. It plays an indispensable role in the Alliance and is the core of the entire Alliance. However, it suddenly disappeared 3 years ago. In the past 3 years, there is little activity. I have always been curious about who this 0 is. He slowly walked towards Fen Ling. I'm also curious why you are always there where there is 0. Now I am sure that this 0 is you. I'm afraid those people have never imagined that the brains of the Alliance is still a senior high school student and has even spent 3 years in prison. Fen Ling's move can be said to have minimized her presence. Tisk, but you still found me. Fen Ling shrugged and said disapprovingly. How did you know about the existence of the Alliance? The Alliance is a secret organization of the country, which was established after the world began to produce people with special abilities. Because superior leaders were afraid that the existence of people with special abilities would cause panic among ordinary people, they concealed the existence of the Special Alliance and the existence of people with special abilities. Under normal circumstances, even Yeking Han, even if he is the young master of the Ye family in the capital, should not know about the existence of Te Lian. Yeqing smiled coldly. He was such a clever kid. We are the same kind of people. Are you relieved now? Student Fen Ling. Boom. With a roar in her mind, Fen Ling looked at the man in front of her stupidly. Yeking Han is also a person with special abilities? Are all people with special abilities off the streets now? How can it be found everywhere? Obviously, it was not easy to form the Alliance in the first place because it was too difficult to find a person with special abilities. Fen Ling was so shocked that she even forgot to ask Yeking Han what his ability was. If he had asked, I'm afraid this mountain forest is about to face an unprecedented war. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 113. Chapter 113. You were wrong from the beginning. Let's go, save people. Yeking Han easily lifted Fen Ling and took her into his arms. In the blink of an eye, he locked the position of the alien. Hands clenched into fists, a hole opened in front of her eyes. Fen Ling's pupils shrank sharply. That was void. Since the birth of people with special abilities, she has never seen anyone who can tear apart time and space. Who is Yeking Han? Before Fen Ling could figure it out, the scene in front of him suddenly changed. They were less than 50 meters away from the alien and the other two students. The two female students were so frightened that they fainted. For Fenling and Yeking Han, this was good news. Coming to Luo City to cause trouble, it seems that my aunt's reputation is not big enough. She was so low-key in Luo City that these aliens didn't know the heights of the sky and were arresting people right under her nose. Fenling sneered and walked into the alien species step by step. Who are you? The alien in front of him is a tall man with a pair of small eyes shining brightly. He is obviously different from the alien from last time, and his focus should not be on improving his strength. Most of this type of variant will focus on improving speed. Fenling narrowed her eyes, obviously not in a good mood. You all are the god of death. You are very brave to rob someone under my nose. Hey, little girl, don't be too young and energetic. Do you know who I am? The man smiled wildly, not taking this weak-looking girl seriously at all. It's just, I caught 3, but 2 more came, and the smell became stronger. The man showed an expression that smelled delicious food, as if he was enjoying food from a high-end restaurant. Iffies. But suddenly, the girl in front of him let out a silver bell-like laughter, which was clear but made him dizzy inexplicably. What I hate the most is that you treat me as food. It will be disgusting. So, Fenling curled her lips and gave a weird smile. You're done. The next second, the man felt a pain in his crotch. The girl came to him at some point. Before he could react, her body was kicked into the air and completely stopped. The first blow is to teach you how to be a good person and not to treat people's lives like dirt. Bang, bang, bang. Second strike, if you're ugly, don't stare at other girls with those dirty eyes. Bang, bang, bang. The third blow, I really want to hit you. The man felt his body rotated an unknown number of 360 degrees in mid-air. Every time he wanted to fight back, he braked again as if he hadn't seen through. Nausea, dizziness, and all other uncomfortable feelings came to his mind. When Fenling knocked him to a height of more than 10 meters and landed heavily, the first thing the man felt was not pain, but relief. It's so uncomfortable. People with special abilities are much stronger than normal people. If they fall from a height of tens of meters, they will only be seriously injured but will not die. This is also a pity for Fenling. A bit too rough. Why? The man said unwillingly while vomiting blood. He is a speed user. After absorbing so much fresh blood, his speed has increased to the extreme. But why can't he even match the speed of a little girl? He is not willing to give in. Da. A pair of feet appeared in his field of vision. Fenling knelt down and patted his face. Do you want to know why? Because you were wrong from the beginning. Those who improve their abilities by absorbing the souls and blood of others will only trap themselves in one world. The shackles between heaven and earth will become thicker and thicker, and they will never be able to break through. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 114. Chapter 114 Throw it away after use. Secretary of the Special Alliance Ling, you have been arrested. Fenling took out his ID and said seriously. Secret envoy, the man's eyes widened, as if he couldn't believe that the girl in front of him, who looked to be only 17 or 18 years old, was from that place or a secret envoy. If he had known earlier, he would never have come to this place. Lian is not a place that people of their level can mess with. Tell me, besides you, who else came to Luo City, and what is your purpose? The current situation is not only about the safety of Luo City, it is also related to the safety of all ordinary people on this planet. She was afraid that, the target of the person behind the scenes, was these ordinary people who had no power to restrain themselves. Fenling glanced at the two girls lying unconscious on the ground, and her eyes darkened. No, I don't know anything. You can't not know. Fenling grabbed the man's collar. Yang Cheng, Fengcheng, Nanjing, Luokan, so many cities have infiltrated your people, and you are all active in these too. It has suddenly worsened over the past month. Don't tell me this is all a coincidence. It's just a coincidence, so what? The man suddenly became arrogant, grinning ferociously with his mouth, and let out a heart-stopping laugh. Secret envoy of the alliance? So what? You have status and status. We have people. Can you deal with 1 me, 100 me or 10,000 me? GGG, it's useless. Without 1 me, there are still thousands of me. One day, our people will make you completely defeated. Hurry up, GGG. That's crazy. Fenling shook him off, took out a wet wipe and wiped her hands in disgust. At the bottom of the mountain, the sound of police cars was heard. Fenling and Yekinghan looked at each other and said, "Send them down first." Yekinghan nodded and pointed at the crazy man. "Where is he?" "I have already informed the Special Alliance, they will send someone over. Let's go." It's not that she doesn't want to kill him, but now all the people in the Special Alliance are being watched by the aliens. If she really kills him, I'm afraid the people behind her will be able to use them against the Special Alliance. Fenling closed her eyes, turned around and left with Yekinghan. Your special ability is amazing. After solving this matter, Fenling had time to focus on Yekinghan. But the more she put it on him, the more frightened Fenling became. Such a talent should not be let go by Turlin, right? How come you haven't heard of the words Yekinghan in the past few years? Have you ever stayed in Tel Aviv before? It depends on the situation. If you ask whether I have stayed there before, then I did stay there for a while. However, I was an undercover agent, and it also muddied the waters of the Tel United. Yekinghan raised his eyebrows. Fenling looked at him, always feeling that what this man meant was not good. But she has no evidence. Today's matter, please keep it a secret for me. We should be considered grasshoppers on a rope now, Miss Fan, Yekinghan said with a smile. Things he had kept secret from everyone were revealed to her. Fenling. What? Are you happy to hear that? But she doesn't want to be tied to this dog at all. Okay. Who knows how much trouble she will encounter if she has a close relationship with this dog. She is most afraid of trouble. Fenling shook his head. I will keep it a secret for you, teacher. Yet. Yekinghan, throw it away after use. As expected of you, Fenling. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 115. Chapter 115. You don't have to worry about it. At the bottom of the mountain, the police were about to go up the mountain, but they found a man and a woman walking down the road. Feng Shuang recognized the two people with sharp eyes. She only thought that Fenling was lucky, but she still showed a hint of surprise. It's sister and teacher. Yet. They are fine. Fenling Xiaonian stepped forward and looked up and down, and then breathed a sigh of relief after confirming that Fenling was fine. You kid, why are you so stubborn? It is said that the mountains are dangerous. You do listen. Did you hear it? This kind of thing should be handled by the police. Ordinary people like them are trying to be heroes by rushing in. Fenling pursed her lips and said, the police can't solve this problem. She looked at the policeman not far away, and there seemed to be an old acquaintance who walked over with his pocket in his pocket. He is on the mountain. I will send you the location. I have already called people over. I think he has been taken away by now, so you don't need to worry about it. Sister, what are you talking about? Now is a legal society. There is nothing that the police cannot solve. What's more, that person bullied our classmates. How could you ask someone to take him away privately? Shouldn't it be handed over to the police? Feng Shuang pretended to be righteous and said. Although she didn't understand what Fenling and Yekinghan did to the man who everyone said was very scary, and they were able to escape unscathed, but as long as she poured this dirty water on Fenling, She could still get away with it? The crowd couldn't hold their heads up. After all, this is not an ordinary incident. If Fen Ling allowed others to take the criminal away, she was already complicit with that man. Feng Shuang felt a sinister feeling in his heart. Fen Ling, you did this yourself, you can't blame me. Feng Shuang smiled, fully expecting that everyone would be on her side. But, classmate, we really can't solve this matter. The person who spoke was Shen Jingqing, the captain of the criminal police brigade and an old acquaintance of Feng Ling. Shen Jingqing, as the captain of the criminal police brigade, is also the person in charge of the connection between the special forces and the police. He is one of the few ordinary people who knows the existence of people with special abilities. He was wearing a police uniform and said in a serious tone, "You have to thank these two. If it weren't for them, none of the three classmates might be alive today." "Police, comrade police, are you making a mistake? My sister is just a high school student, and teacher Ye doesn't know any martial arts." Feng Shuang's face fell a little. "How so? It was said that Feng Ling and Ye Qinghan took care of that man." She didn't believe it at all, because it was impossible. According to their description, the man's physical fitness is not comparable to these two people at all. How can it be? "Yes, policeman, are you mistaken? Fen Ling is just a senior high school student." Xiaonian frowned, somewhat disagreeing with Shen Jingqing's statement. In her mind, apart from Fen Ling being good at fighting and causing trouble, and having surprisingly good grades, she had never seen any other superb martial arts skills in her. Could it be? Xiaonian focused his attention on Ye Qinghan. Could it be the legendary young master Ye? "Okay, ladies, just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it won't happen. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Those three classmates are still lying in the mountains." Shen Jingqing smiled slightly, as if he didn't want to say anything more to them. This made Feng Shuang's proud existence feel a serious setback, and all of this was because of Feng Ling's existence. She looked at Feng Ling fiercely, as if she wanted to swallow her into her stomach. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 116. Chapter 116 is he? After the police left, Feng Shuang looked at Feng Ling and hesitated to speak. "Sister, do you know that policeman? Does it have something to do with you?" Feng Ling glanced at her sideways, with an indifferent expression. She did know Shen Jingqing when she was in the Alliance. She was on a mission and Shen Jingqing worked with her as the captain of the Ordinary People's team, so they knew each other at that time. In these years in prison, Shen Jingqing has been helping her deliver news from the outside world. So, everyone thinks that Zero has disappeared, but in fact, she has always been there, and the brain of the Alliance has never left. Feng Ling curled her lips. Shen Jingqing was a police officer worthy of admiration. "You met my sister when she was in prison, right?" Feng Shuang prides himself on being smart. Receiving Feng Ling's gaze, she became even more convinced, and she said, "It's just sister, although you knew Police Shen when you were in prison, this is not a prison after all, and you have already come out. It's not good to be complicit in this. You'd better tell them where you hid that man, otherwise according to the law, you will become that man's accomplice." "Sister, I know you don't like me, but this matter is not a joke. You..." "When did I say that I met Shen Jingqing in prison?" Feng Ling sneered. "Feng Shuang, if you could not be so whimsical, you wouldn't have sold 2,000 of 5,000 albums." Feng Ling looked at Feng Shuang's face turning green and red, and whistled in a good mood. She now finds that fighting against Feng Shuang is quite powerful. "Let's go, I have something to do." Feng Ling waved her hand and said to Ye Qinghan, "Where is teacher Ye?" Do you want to go together? Okay. Yaking Han pushed up his flat mirror and took 2 steps to stand shoulder to shoulder with Fen Ling. Neither of them saw it. There was a pair of downcast eyes in the crowd, looking at Fen Ling for a moment. If something like this happens, the outing will no longer be possible. It's just that the children can no longer resist him, which can be considered an improvement. Yaking Han was in a good mood, and the aura around her body became much softer. Where to? Yaking Han has a car, and since they have just confirmed each other's identities, it is natural for Fen Ling to use Yaking Han now. As the brain of the alliance, in Fen Ling's subconscious, all people with special abilities are her brothers. She opened the driver's door and sat in, spreading her hands towards Yaking Han. Keys. Yaking Han raised his eyebrows, took out the keys from his bag and threw them to her, and got into the driver's seat. The car owner is the co-pilot and the guest is the driver. This picture seems strange, but neither of them finds it strange at all. The picture is unusually harmonious. Fen Ling drove the car to the prison where she was originally. Today is the time for Xiao Qi to be released from prison. Half an hour later, the prison door opened, and a girl in white walked out. Her face was different from others, unusually pale, and the face of a dead person. But it's extraordinarily beautiful. Ling Ling seeing Fen Ling, a gentle smile appeared on the girl's face. She stepped forward and hugged Fen Ling. The sun shone on her body, making her feel warm and comfortable. She hasn't seen the sun for a long time. After Ling Ling left, she was the only one left in the prison again. Fortunately, she came out. Just come out and I'll take you home. He is. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 117. Chapter 117 Bullshit Provincial and Municipal Unified Examination. The girl looked at the man in the car, and for some reason she always felt inexplicable fear of him. That kind of fear seems to be an innate fear in the blood of lower-ranking people when they see a superior. However, Ai Chi confirmed that she had never seen this man before. His name is Yaking Han. He is a teacher at Lingyang High School. Hello, Yaking Han. Hello, my name is Ai Chi. Ai Chi shrank subconsciously when she heard the man's voice, and both Fen Ling and Yaking Han noticed. It's just that the two of them had a good rapport and didn't ask. One of them planned to ask in private, while the other didn't care at all about the reason for Ai Chi's abnormality. Ling, do you live in Lingdi now? Yes, I bought a set for you at Lingdi, which is right next door to me. You can contact me if you need anything in the future. Fen Ling casually took out a key and threw it to Ai Chi. This is the key to the house, and your name is written on it. Thank you. Ai Chi grabbed the small key in her hand and felt mixed emotions for a moment. Ling, I will definitely pay you back in the future. I'm not in a hurry to pay you back. Starting from next week, I will arrange for you to attend Lingyang High School. I will pay you back one by one for your debt. Fen Ling's voice was quite cold. Ai Chi was her only friend in those 3 years. When she first entered, she didn't notice Ai Chi because Ai Chi's presence was too low. Every day's activity time is spent huddled in a corner, dazed with a letter in hand. Fen Ling is the type of person who doesn't often go out for activities, so it's even more impossible for her to know Ai Chi. The first time she noticed Ai Chi was when she heard others talk about the reason why Ai Chi went in. That little mute was the one who felt aggrieved others bullied her for a whole semester. The last time someone drowned her in water, she couldn't stand it anymore, so she hit them with stones from the roadside. Later, he was convicted of intentional injury. This is what her younger brothers told her in prison. Little Mute is Ai Chi's nickname because she never speaks. Just stare at the letter. Then secretly shed tears at night. Later, Fen Ling learned that the letter was sent to her by Ai Chi's parents. After she entered the hospital, her parents divorced because they couldn't stand the comments from outside, and now they have started their own families. They promised to provide alimony to Aichi after she comes out, but hoped that she would stop disturbing their lives. For an underage girl, this is a more desperate reality than being imprisoned innocently. Without Fenling, there might be no Aichi in the world now. In the car, Aichi lowered her head and held the wrinkled letter in her hand and nodded lightly. Yeah. It's okay, I'm here, don't be afraid. Fenling comforted her softly. Yeking-han was sitting next to her, feeling quite uncomfortable. This car belonged to him, and so did the students. Why did a little girl suddenly come and he turned into a light bulb? Yeking-han felt extremely unhappy. Come to my room tonight. Fenling. What are you going to do? Aichi blinked. Why did something sound wrong? Yeking-han said, the provincial and municipal unified examinations are coming soon. I will help you study. Fenling, does she still need tutoring for her grades? That provincial and municipal unified examination is not as difficult as the paper she gave. Aichi, she seems to know something. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 118. Chapter 118 Yeking-han, Killing Gods. Yeking-han looked at the little girl's reluctant expression and grinned. Lian. I go. Well, study hard and you will make progress every day. Yeking-han nodded with satisfaction. Fenling gave the man in the co-pilot a sharp look. He dared to jump in front of her. That was great. He was indeed a dog man. Aichi sat obediently in the back and said nothing, staring at the two people in front of her with eyes filled with gossip. In the 2 months since Linling was released, has her relationship developed to this point? This is what they call on TV, flirting. Did she see the plot of an idol drama in reality? Aichi licked her lips and felt that pink bubbles were rising all over the world. When they arrived at Emperor Ling, Fenling was directly pulled into the room by Yeking-han. At this speed, tisk tisk tisk, could it be? Aichi instantly imagined some unharmonious pictures. Is the world now so exciting? In the room. Yeking-han, what do you want to do? Fenling picked up a chair and lifted it up without much effort, intending to beat this bitch. Nothing to do, tutoring. I'm going to Te Niang's tutoring school. I've already got several copies of my doctorate certificate, and I still need you to tutor me in kindergarten knowledge. Fenling took the chair and threw it away. Yeking-han slapped the chair casually, and the chair fell apart. Children, is it wrong to hit the teacher? Teacher? What kind of teacher are you? Yeking-han, what I hate most is deception and threats. I'm honored that you have done it. First he lied to her about his identity as a teacher, then he lied to her about being an ordinary person, and now he dared to threaten her with an alliance. Her brain has never suffered such a great injustice since she was born. Fenling curled her lips, picked up a pot and threw it over. Within a minute, the equipment in the room was torn apart. The few things that survived were pillows and other indestructible items. Angry, Yeking-han got close and grabbed Fenling's hand, gently pulled her into his arms and held her captive. Don't struggle, you are no match for me. Let go. Fenling stared at him, feeling aggrieved. Although, she really couldn't beat this man. This man is hateful. Yeking-han, although I can't defeat you, you can't control me. The worst is, we will perish together. Don't underestimate me. Let's get to know each other again. What? The man's voice rang in his ears, bringing with it a burst of moist air, and penetrated his ears densely. Leader of the Blood Fiend Alliance, Killing God, it's a pleasure to meet you. On this day, this sentence broke all the shackles and barriers between Fenling and Yeking-han. The girl stared at him blankly, digesting this information. The man was not in a hurry and waited quietly. In the meantime, he cut a plate of fruit and put it on the table. 20 minutes later, Fenling spoke up. They all said that God Killer was injured. And it was a serious injury, so the activities of the Blood Evil Alliance have decreased sharply in the past 3 years. It is precisely because of this that she dared to take the risk and try to treat Feng Kang. Indeed. Ye Qinghan smiled slightly, isn't Zero silent too? So, their purpose is the same. Among those with special abilities, Zero from the Alliance and God Killer from the Blood Fiend Alliance are the two giants. It is precisely because of these two giants that the aliens have been hiding in the darkness for so many years, not daring to appear openly. But now the internal strife in the Alliance can no longer be suppressed by Zero and God Killing. So, the two of them consciously chose to escape from the world. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 119. Chapter 119 Yun Miao Miao. Feng Ling rubbed her brows with a headache. She and this really had a good connection. However, if those people knew that she was now peacefully coexisting face to face with the killing god, I am afraid that even the quick-acting heart-saving pills would not be able to save their crazy little hearts. Don't let them know about our meeting yet. Of course. Ye Qinghan curled her lips and stretched out her right hand. Now, Miss Feng Ling, are you willing to cooperate with me? Do I have a way out? No matter from various angles, since killing God already knows her identity, cooperating with him is the best choice. Feng Ling paused and asked Ye Qinghan a question. Did you doubt my identity from the beginning? Yes. I admit, I failed this time, but there is no next time. Feng Ling waved her right hand and slapped away Ye Qinghan's outstretched hand, chewing on the fruit. The pit jumping all jumped, and I didn't eat some fruits to be sorry for her belly. Communicating with smart people is a waste of your brain. More supplements are needed. The incident of Lingyang High School students being harmed by gangsters caused a sensation in the entire Lingyang High School, including the entire Los Angeles city. Although Wang Zhaihong comforted the family members immediately, he still became a topic of conversation among the students after dinner. Feng Ling's actions that day aroused dissatisfaction among many people who already had opinions about Feng Ling. In comparison, Feng Shuang is simply a representative of decent people in their hearts. Shuang, you were so awesome that day, you were able to face danger without fear when encountering that kind of thing. Yes, it's countless times better than Feng Ling. I think that Feng Ling is just bluffing. I don't believe that she subdued the bad guy. Does she think she is the flying little witch? Ha ha ha. Every word from everyone reduced Feng Ling to dust. Feng Shuang didn't stop her, she just smiled shyly when everyone was about to say something. Don't say that, sister, she probably didn't think that much at the time. She has been quite upright since she was a child. You are so upright, you obviously have no emotional intelligence. Li Yishan complained at the side, thinking of the recent chemistry competition in the school. By the way, Shuang, the school is planning to hold a chemistry competition recently, and 3 groups of schools will compete. Do you want to sign up? It just so happens that there are 3 places in our class. Well, I will sign up, and I will definitely work hard this time. There are 3 people registered in their class, one is her, one is the squad leader Zhu Hong, and the other is Yun Miao. Zhu Hong has strong overall ability, but his ability in a single subject is not outstanding. As for Yun Miao, Feng Shuang glanced in the direction of the girl. The girl seemed to feel something, raised her head and looked in the direction of Feng Shuang, but only for a moment, and quickly lowered her head. Buried the whole person in the test paper. On the table, lying on the table is a neatly written chemistry test paper. Feng Shuang looked at Yun Miao's movements with a hint of ridicule. It didn't matter how good an ugly girl she wasn't the only one everyone saw. Da. Yun Miao Miao was doing her test papers when she saw someone standing next to her from the corner of her eye. She raised her head timidly and it was Feng Shuang. Is this classmate Yun Miao Miao? I heard that you also signed up for the chemistry competition, so we are teammates. Why not stay and review and discuss together in the evening? No, no need, I have something to do in the evening. Yun Miao Miao's voice became smaller and smaller, because she felt that the breath of the people around her was getting colder and colder, which made her involuntarily feel an inexplicable fear. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 120. Chapter 120. Wouldn't it be nice to have another pair? Meow meow, are you not willing to review with me? So you said you have something to do. Feng Shuang's voice was neither loud nor quiet, and everyone around him could hear it. Everyone looked over and saw only Feng Shuang's red eyes and Yun Miao Miao's confused eyes. They subconsciously felt that Yun Miao Miao had bullied Feng Shuang. In addition, Yun Miao Miao's original presence in the class was not strong, so everyone felt that Feng Shuang was not at fault. Yun Miao Miao, what do you mean? Do you have a problem with Shuang? Shuang kindly invites you to review together. What do you mean by refusing? Yun Miao Miao, we are in the same class. Our opponents are from other classes and other schools. We are not the ones participating in the competition. Don't get the wrong target. Okay, what does she know? She is an idiot who only knows how to study. Shuang, ignore her, just pretend she doesn't exist. Okay, stop talking. I believe Meow Meow, she will agree. She just thought in the wrong direction for a moment. I'm right, Meow Meow. Feng Shuang looked gentle, but Yun Miao Miao didn't know why, but he read the threat in her eyes. Hands hidden under the table trembled slightly. She moved her lips and found that she couldn't control her words at all. She could only listen to herself and say, okay, I'll go. Looking at Feng Shuang's satisfied smile. Looking at the disdainful looks in other students' eyes towards her. Yun Miao Miao clutched her palm tightly. Why is it like this again? Why? She doesn't want to review with Feng Shuang, no. The girl closed her eyes in despair. On her wrist, which was exposed unconsciously, there were several old wounds, overlapping with new ones that had not yet scabbed over. In the evening, a classroom. The school bell has rang for a long time, and only Feng Shuang and Yun Miao Miao were left in the classroom. Still the same as before, Yun Miao Miao didn't know what Feng Shuang wanted to do, so she just lowered her head and worked on the unfinished paper seriously. Yun Miao Miao, the sound of death exploded overhead. Yun Miao Miao tightened her hand on the pen, but still did not raise her head. It wasn't that she didn't want to lift it, but she didn't dare to lift it. Sometimes, she cannot control her movements. Yun Miao Miao, I'm calling you. When Feng Shuang saw that Yun Miao Miao was ignoring her, her voice rose a few decibels, making it very harsh and sharp. Yun Miao Miao frowned and timidly raised his head to look at her. You, what do you want to do? What do you mean? Feng Shuang smiled. Classmate Yun Miao Miao, we are classmates, and classmates should get along with each other in a friendly manner. What you said is like I am hurting you. Feng Shuang chuckled, lifted Yun Miao Miao's chin, and took off the thick glasses on the bridge of her nose. What are you doing wearing them? They're so ugly. Snapped. The glasses fell to the ground, and the sound of the lenses breaking was heard. Yun Miao Miao's heart twitched, and she subconsciously wanted to pick it up, but Feng Shuang grabbed her tightly. Feng, my glasses. It's broken, Feng Shuang said lightly, as if she didn't feel that she had done anything wrong at all. Those are the glasses I just got, Yun Miao Miao cried angrily. Her family was not wealthy. This pair of glasses cost several thousand, how could they be broken? She grabbed Feng Shuang's clothes, her eyes a little flustered. You compensate me. I'm sorry. It's just a pair of glasses, why don't you just get a new pair? Why are you so stingy? Feng Shuang looked at the test paper on Yun Miao Miao's desk nonchalantly. It was very neat and clear, and there were even some ideas for solving the questions that she had not thought of. End of this chapter.